my family and friends from YouTube. Ada here, Vanny with Ada Boricua. Hope y'all having a good morning or a good night or a good evening. I decided to take you out of the four walls of my house. Actually, my daughter will be keeping the apartment when I finish my van conversion and heading out on the road. I brought you to the beautiful waterfront. Let me get my chair set up, and I'll be with you in a second. Okay. I wanted to show you the area that I live at in New Jersey. I really can't see the screen, maybe the brights. But this is a site of the waterfront, okay? It's the Perth Amboy, New Jersey waterfront. It's beautiful, it's beautiful. And right now I'm on the fishing dock. Okay, this is a fishing dock here. People come here to fish. And then down that path is how you come in and out. Let's see what I got. Yeah. See the rails? That's where you come in and out. It's a beautiful park. It's a waterfront walkway, I would say. I don't know if you can get a clear view. Maybe it's my glasses. I need new glasses. Desperately. Desperately. There. Oh, yeah. Okay. This is a fishing pier, one of them. There's lots of them. And there's a bridge where the train crosses over to the south area of Perth Amboy. And that's South Amboy over there, where it's divided between north and south. And then at the end, I wanted to go to the end, but I parked over here because it was more, you know, isolated from people. And all the way on the back right there behind, it's Staten Island. Yeah, it's the Staten Island bridge to go to New York. So I'm not too far from New York City. I wanted to let you know I live in New Jersey, but I was originally born and raised in Brooklyn. And I like the boats. It's beautiful. It feels good. You know what? I haven't been out here in, wow, maybe like a year. Maybe like a year. I kind of isolated. You know, you go through so many things in life that you isolate yourself from the world. I guess your daily, I guess your life. You know, when you only have your children. But only my daughter lives with me. Everyone else says they have their own apartment and they are married or they're in the army. And they travel to different destinations. And sometimes the suffering in life and the stuff that you've been through, and you're like, wow, well, why me? Why do I have to go through all that, you know? There's a fisherman crabbing down there. Hola, buenos días. ¿Qué va a coger juelle? Let's check out this friend right here. ¿Va a coger juelle? ¿Ah? Cangrejo. Ah, okay. He's crabbing. You can fish here, but the fish has to be over 12 inches, I think it's the law. 12 inches. You don't need a license or anything like that. I used to fish here. Actually, this pier reminds me a lot of when my the youngest ones, my daughter and my youngest one, the one that's in the army, we used to come out here because we love fishing. We just love fishing. We all love fishing. I need to get me a fishing rod. Yeah. But I used to bring him out here into this pier or the one down where there's lots of boats. I'll show you before the video ends. But I just wanted to share a little bit. So I decided to come out here this morning, and I see people there exercising on the tree area. There's let me show you. There's a tree area there. Okay, that walkway goes like, whoa, it's long. It's really long. It has a like those red blocks on the sidewalk, and you can walk, you can ride your bike, you can skate. My kids used to, my son used to skate. Okay, when the first time the skates came out, those what do you call it? Those roller blades? Not the roller blades, the skateboards. That was the first thing that came out. He used to skateboard his little heart all the way down to the waterfront. And then there's a little park down there where you would get on the swings and whatever. And there's a school that was built there also. He took karate classes there. I involved my kids since they were young in sports. I always had them into sports. And there's a, it reminded me when I came down here, there is a tennis court. I don't know if you can see, there is a tennis court there. And there's, okay, where's the yellow building? That yellow building right there. Let's see, right after the tennis court. Okay, there's the tennis court. Yeah, that's the tennis court. And okay, that yellow house right on top of that piece of hair right there I got sticking up. It used to be a blue house, a big blue building. And it was called the Safe Haven House. And if you worked late hours, like a little bit of extra overtime or something, you can always bring your kids there, and they would take them on trips till like 7 o'clock p.m. From 4 to 6. You can drop your children off, and they would watch your kids through the police department. It was run by the police department and this recreation department here in this town. They're very good for recreational activities and keep the kids going into activities and all of that stuff. And they have from softball, little one, instructional little softball, which my kids grew up in that. They have plenty of trophies on that, competitions. They have the basketball since they were little till they grow up. They also had karate, FIFA. They had softball and baseball, and other activities that they were involved in. So what happened was there was a fire broke out there. My kids were already grown, so they couldn't go there anymore. And it caught fire. So that was like a big loss for the kids in this town, because right now they only have the recreational activities in the summertime or the fall, football season, baseball season, FIFA season. So I really missed that. And a lot of people maybe that moved here recently or after that, they don't know about that. But this town is well known for involving the kids in activities. Okay. This was remodeled completely. Didn't have no rails. It didn't have a rails here on the fishing pier, so you were like in danger of falling over. I mean, I'm here, but I'm terrified of the ocean. You can't swim here. No, you cannot swim, because right behind me, all the way in the back, there's this big oil tankers, and they have plenty of oil tankers back there. And always some kind of leakage of oil. So they say it's not safe to swim in these waters anymore. Before years, I guess, many years ago, yes, it was a swimming area where they had those cords that you can't go past those cords. But because of that, oh, there's a train. Let me show you the train. There's people coming up here to the pier ready to get air, I guess. Can you see the train? the train's moving right on the screen. Okay, and that's the New Jersey Transit. That's the train that goes from Penn Station, New York, to Newark, and then from Newark up and down the coast of New Jersey. So that's the New Jersey Transit. The good thing here, you can get anywhere on the train. Good morning. On the train, and get to the beaches or wherever. That's really good. So there's a lot of boats on the other side. Okay, beautiful, beautiful. There's a marine park out there. There's restaurants that you can sit down. They have tiki bars and stuff like that, but all that is closed. It's an outdoor. I haven't been out there, like I said, like in a year. I used to just walk, okay, walking. But now people are distancing and all of this stuff. But hopefully, everything will get back to normal one day. Hopefully soon. I want to thank a couple of subscribers. Let me. I like for you to comment, because I get to know you. Okay. I get to know your names, and let's see. Let me just give me 1 second. Okay, my orders will be coming in on the 11th. The 11th, yeah. So hopefully by the weekend I'll be starting trying to get my my conversion done. Okay, let me hold up. Give me 1 segundo. 1 second. Oh, the sun is coming out. You know what? I took a shower. I put, I'm a pajama person since I'm always home, and I put on some warm pajamas, thinking that it's going to be kind of chilly out here, but it actually is not. The sun is coming out, and I can feel it. And you see, I have this sweater, and I have my warm pajama pants. Because at home, I turned the air conditioner on just a little bit because of the puppy. Puppies can't take a lot of heat. I can't deal with fan because I have asthma also. So I put the fan away from me, just enough to just cool the air. Okay, I want to thank Naomi Montalvo. Naomi, hugs, hearts for you, okay? You've been there encouraging me, and I really appreciate it, and that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for encouragement. I'm not getting paid for a YouTube or nothing like that. I mean, it'll take me probably 5 years if people start subscribing and stuff like that, but it's not my idea. But I would like for you, if to subscribe. I really appreciate it, and to follow my channel. I did have to try to get me through this and mindset to do it. I had my old Dodge Caravan, and I did a lot of camping out. I'm a camper. Actually, let me tell you a little bit about that. I don't have any, maybe I'd have a picture of 2 when my kids were young. I'll put a little video up there so you can see my children when they were young. They would light up the campfire. They would put up the tents. I'll help them because they were very young. Actually, when my daughter was born, I had a 10-foot pop-up camper. Okay, that's when I was with their father. It was a total disaster once we hooked up. I was the one with the good credit. He was the one with the bad credit. But, blindness just doesn't, you don't think about, at that point, I wasn't thinking about the future or credit. And I know credit is very important. Trust me. For y'all out there who have your credit straight or don't have credit, please take care of your credit. Don't let it go by for any kind of reason, because in this life, everything goes by your credit. If you don't have credit, you're stuck. There's nothing you can do. There is a lot to repair and years to get trusted again. So during that process of my youngest dad, I guess I was a good catch. I was single. I had my own apartment. I had my brand new car. It was paid off. I did nursing for 25 years. And we separated like 2.5 years after I had my daughter, and he wanted to get married, and I didn't want to get married. But I said, what the heck, it's not such a bad person. But it turned out to be the devil, okay? And I even hate to say that. But I had 23 major credit cards. You name them. I had them all. And the only thing I used was Target. I used to love Target because it was right close to my job. I could just run over there and get what I needed for the kids. And they were young, really little. And they were under 4 and 6. So Target was my store. I applied for one credit card. My credit was so good that I just kept receiving credit cards, okay? If you start receiving credit cards, it's good in a way, but don't use all of them. I mean, go with your budget, because these credit cards will get you into some really deep debt. I didn't get myself in deep debt. I had 23 credit cards. I just threw them in a drawer. Didn't think anything about it. The only thing I carried on me was my Target card. Well, we came to the point where we bought a house. It was a foreclosure. It was not expensive. It was like $42,000 on foreclosure. Yeah, we did put some money into it with my Home Depot card. And along with that, 2 years later, my house was on foreclosure. But before it went on foreclosure, he wanted to go into trucking. So, I said, well, kept nagging me about the trucking business, making a lot of money, this and that. So it kind of blinded me, and I said, well, let me just get him off my back. I mean, I'll finance the house. I'm not going to go into the credit cards. I'll finance the house, and I'll give you the money to buy your tractor trailer and be an owner-operator. So I did that, and after I did that, everything started going down the drain. Okay, he would disappear for weeks and weeks, and then he would come home, and you couldn't say nothing to him because the first thing he would start yelling, oh, yeah, leave me alone, you know what kind of day I had. I was too busy working, or dealing with the kids, getting them to the babysitter and back, working a couple extra hours of overtime, because when you work in a hospital, it's mandated. It's not like, no, I'm going home, I have kids. They don't care. Okay, so I had a faithful babysitter. It cost me an arm and a leg, but what are you gonna do? You can't just walk out the job, or you're not gonna go back. So I pulled through, and next thing I knew, my house was on foreclosure. So that took a toll on me. I was left homeless. Okay, he left me homeless, and my kids were 4 and 6 years old. So I mean, if I could turn back time, I don't regret having my kids, because that's like my company I have now, the most closest company I have. My other two are more distance, but they always around. And it really took a toll on me to lose everything. I had my checks garnished at work. My check was supposed to be like $1,400 back then, every 2 weeks. $1,410 was my paycheck, after taxes and whatever. And you wouldn't believe, my check came up $200 and something that day. And I went to the office and was like, whoa, this is, there's a mistake here. This is not my check. I made somebody else's check by mistake. And they told me, oh no, that's your paycheck. So when they look on the computer, I had a garnishment from a credit card. I don't owe any credit cards. So I went home and I checked, and I started calling. He was hiding the mail from me. He was hiding the foreclosure, because the deal was, if I finance the truck for you, back then my mortgage was $515. Once I financed the truck for $25,000, my payments went up to $805, $815. So that wasn't bad back in that day. That's nothing. I pay $1,050 right now for an apartment. It's just a 1-bedroom. I did have a bigger apartment, but it was more money. And I pulled it through. It was like $12.50 plus utilities. Then the landlord wanted to stick me with water bill and all of that stuff, and I just left. I just took off and left. So I have to move a couple of times, because of bad situation. But thank God, I pulled through. I'm doing fine. Not like I have any money saved up to say I'm going to go on a cruise, if it was available, or take vacations every few months or anything like that. But I've survived. I survived. I raised my kids, and they're doing good. I have one who did 2 deployments, overseas. And in some months, he will be finished. The sun is kind of going on my phone, but I can't see because I have a subscriber that sent me a message last night. Okay, Diane Corriette, subscribe to my channel. Thank you, Diane, from the bottom of my heart. I thank you so much for subscribing. That way I have people that can update me on information, share your information with me, put on your comments. Okay, it's gonna have to go little by little. The story is long, and I will make it possible so that you get to know me more. Okay, I'm not just coming out to just make a van conversion and go on like I used to. But I had that van it just needed so much work that I just couldn't do it anymore. But you'll see when I hit out the wonderful things that are out to do. Rizzy, yes, yeah, Rizzy, yes, Rizzy. I can't. The sun is shining on my phone. Okay, Rizzy. Let me check out Rizzy. Hold on 1 second. Living with Rizzy. Okay. Let's see if she has a channel. 1 second. I came out here because it's relaxing. It's just to get away from home. Living with Rizzy. Thank you. Thank you, Rizzy, from the bottom of my heart. Let's see. She is also a van life. She's living van life. Okay, hold on 1 second. I want to thank Lizzie. Lizzie. There we go. Okay, so Rizzy, I subscribe to your channel also because, like I said last night, the idea is to share as vanners, okay? If you want to share your life story, that's fine. It doesn't hurt anybody. I don't want anybody feeling sorry for me. That's one thing. Yeah, asked me to make a story of what made me start van life. Like I said, when my kids were small, I got introduced to camping in the Wildwood, New Jersey, and we would stay in hotels. And it came to the point where I wanted to discover the campgrounds because I visited a couple of campgrounds. I'm like, wow, I was so excited. And so we got a 10-foot pop-up camper tent, right? We towed it behind a vehicle, and we were making, like, I used to work every other weekend, so on my weekends off we would leave Friday. We had everything set up for Friday, and we would come back like Sunday afternoon to beat the traffic from South Jersey up back to North Jersey. And that's how my kids got to learn so much of camping, to the point where they can start the fire up, cook marshmallows. I would cover the grill with the aluminum and whatever. and they would slap the burgers in there and the hot dogs. And after our separation, I still continued to go camping. I lost the well, actually, we left the 10-foot camper pop-up at one of his family members' house in Villas. It's out there by Wildwood somewhere, Wildwood, New Jersey. And very cool with us. He was very, him and his wife were very cool. And we left the van there, the camper thing there, just so we didn't have to tow it back and forth, because normally we were there like every weekend. And we would see the kite festivals and a lot of festivals. And Wildwood Amusement Park, it's Maury's Pier. There's so many piers. I haven't been out there in a while either. I used to get on all those rides. But a friend of mine, I went one time and with a group, and they told me, oh, come on, let's get on this ride. I didn't know what the ride was. I don't get into those big wild rides. So all I saw was trees. Whatever it was behind the trees, but there was a cart that you would get in, before you could even see past those trees. So I got in it. They told me to take my earrings and everything off, and I did that. They strapped me with this bars, and I just waited. When that thing took off, I thought I was gonna die. I have high blood pressure also, okay? Asthma, high blood pressure, I have arthritis, and then my pinched nerves from my neck and my back. It's not like I'm falling apart, okay? I'm stable. But I have to walk around with my asthma pump in case there's something that will trigger. I have the machine, which last night I made a video of the power inverter that I didn't need to hook up. But yes, I will have to hook it up, because if I ever need my machine on the road, it's there for me. I haven't used it like in a year and a half, but it's always next to me. It sleeps next to me. So that's as far as my medical issues. So one concern is I do stealth. I do disappear for days, okay? Maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks I'll disappear. And stealth and park in all these places that you can get away with and cook inside the van, on my other van. And that's the idea. If you park somewhere, you don't want to be going into eateries out when you have yummies inside the van that you can enjoy, especially in the wintertime. I love the wintertime because you can cook, warm up your van, and you sleep cozily, tummy's full, and you got all your favorite drinks and coffee and, juices, whatever you drink. I was a heavy Pepsi drinker, and I was a fiend for Pepsi. And sometimes I do get the urge. So yesterday I bought a box of a case of Pepsi, just in case I get the urge, because I used to buy the 2-liter bottle, and that 2-liter bottle would last me like 3 days. And I said, I have to stop this, I have to stop all this sugary stuff, and I wanted to lose some weight. So by stopping the sugar, stopping my Pepsis, I went from regular sugar to the sweet and low. I went to drinking teas with my sweet and low, sometimes with no sweet and low. I like oregano tea. It's very healthy. Nowadays, I recommend Truly oregano tea. So Google up benefits of oregano tea. It's still hot. I made it's called Emergen/C, vitamin C. And it has 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C. This is a cup. I just poured it in this. I want to spill it. Okay. It's orange. It's awesome. And it gives you energy. I mean, not energy that's going to pump your heart up and stuff like that. Like I said, I have high blood pressure. I have to be very careful what I eat and what I drink. So I like to cook myself. I'm not a restaurant person. Maybe once a month. I'll have a slice of pizza. The other day I ordered a meatball sandwich, and the person who normally cooks there, I know he wasn't the one cooking because the meatballs were so salty. If you have high blood pressure, you gotta stay away from salt. You have to learn how to use garlic. You could put some little seasoning on it, but I use sazon. Boricuas use sazon. It's called sazon. So I just sprinkle, okay, that orangey sazon over it and give you a little bit of coloring. I love tilapia. Stew. Okay, I'll stew my chicken. I'm not too much of a fried person or pork. I'm just very simple and picky. I love vegetables. I love green beans. I love my asparagus. And cabbage. Cabbage sliced like for salad and lettuce, and also like with corned beef. You know how the sliced corned beef? Yeah. Oh man, I love that. But then we use the Puerto Rican corned beef, which comes in a can. But I don't really mess with that because it has so much fat. It's like lard. So, like I said, when you have certain ailments, you have to watch what you eat. So I did lose some weight. I feel great. Okay, I feel great. I could do things better. I can move around better. So I say, if you cut the sugar down and all that sweet stuff, and you can have an ice cream every now and then. I do. I'll get up at 2 o'clock in the morning and munch up on a sandwich ice cream. But then I'm guilty about it. But what the hell? It's once in a blue moon. And I always watch for the ice cream truck. By the time I can get outside and say, oh, hold up, he down 2 blocks. I mean, they just fly down the street. They don't give nobody a break. So anyway, yeah, when you have high blood pressure, you have to watch what you eat. And as far as asthma, I don't drink this because of asthma or anything like that. It's just to stay healthy. Keeps your immune system up. And eucalyptus tea, yes, I'll drink that too. Anything with teas, anything healthy with teas, I will drink, and I'll drink that all day. So in the morning, I normally have my my blood pressure pill. Oh, I suffer from anxiety too. Okay, life wasn't easy when my oldest son went into the service during the 911, and that's during the time that I was going to issues with my home. Well, what I did with my home was, it was like I had no knowledge of what was going on. I had no knowledge that he quit paying the mortgage as we agreed. And when the foreclosure letter came, I did try to save the house. Yes, I did. I went to court. It was in my name, even though we were married, but I bought it before we got married. I mean, see, a lot of things you don't even know when you're young. Young and dumb, young and dumb. And so that's why I raised my daughter to be a tough cookie. She's a tough cookie. Because I don't want her to go through what I went through. So I raise her and I advise her, and I give, sometimes the kids don't listen to your advice, but sometimes they find themselves in a jam, and they was like, okay, all right, I told you this, I told you that, and you didn't listen. So you learn as you go. But if I can give anybody an advice that's going to help them in the future, that's me. Okay, like I've said, I'm like the neighborhood helper. The neighborhood helper. I'm very well known in this town. I used to DJ. Gosh, it's getting hot. I'm starting to sweat, but it's good. The sun feels good. I don't even look at the water because it makes me dizzy. But anyway, you give advice, you take it or you leave it. But so far, I can't complain. Well, anyway, I try to save my home, and the lawyers and judges, they took the money for court fees and attorney fees, and you know how that goes. So it was a balance of like another $2,000, and I would save my home. I said, okay. I did have the money. They gave me 2 weeks to come back with the $2,000. I said, oh, okay, no problem. But then I went home and I started thinking, we really don't, not that we don't get along. It's like he's brushing me off completely. ever since he got the truck. And then to top it off, we had no communication whatsoever. Anytime he got home, like from over the road, always had an excuse to be arguing and carrying on. So I'm not an arguing person and a carry on person. That's just not me. If you want to argue, I'll just walk away. You argue by yourself. I'm not going to aggravate myself. You know, I have to go to work in the morning. I had to take care of the kids. I had to cook for them. Worry about, you know, my personal bills, my vehicle, my insurance, electric bill, the gas bill. We did groceries, you know, between both of us. I didn't have any friends that I can count on. I try to keep my friends as minimal. If this is my theory. If you have a lot of friends, some friends are not faithful to you. Some friends you will tell your story to, and what they do is like a chain of gossip. Next thing you know, a lot of people know all your business. That's not a friendship. I don't call that friendship, okay? I have one friend. I don't care what I tell her. It stays between me and her. And if she has an issue, a problem, or worrisome or something, she'll call me. And I'll advise her as much as I can. And that's like my only true friend. You'll meet her one day. Very nice person for many years. Many years. And normally I have older friends, okay? Always have. Even when I was young, I had older friends. I'd be in my 20s. I had 50-year-old women who would advise me of this, advise me of that. Well, anyway, it took me a week and a half to think about going back to the court to just give him the money order for $2,000 and continue paying my $805. So I said to myself, a friend of mine called me. She's like, if he did that to you, what do you expect in the future? I says, I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, he's in his own world. I don't know what he's doing. He's over the road. He's so obsessed with going over the road. And I just go to sleep. I go in my bedroom and he bitches and carrying on and goes down to the other bedroom, and I really don't know. So, it hit me. It hit me. What's going to happen next? I say, it's $4,000 already, and another $2,000. I have enough bills as it is. This was our agreement, barely communicate. So a lot of things went through my mind, and I sat down one day and I was just thinking and writing down on a notebook. And I said, you know what? I'm not going to save the house. So I went to work, and there was an older lady. She would always call me into her janitor closet because she always had coffee. She had to put her insulin on and eat a piece of cheese and cracker and, her little black coffee. And she told me, if you don't have the money, I'll give it to you. Because I got so attached to these older people that they love me like I was their daughter. And I said, no, that's not the problem. I appreciate it. I have it. It's just that, what if it happens again? What if it happens again? I've invested so much in there, and everything in there is because I loved it. I had the money and I purchased it, and it was gorgeous. I had a gorgeous house. It wasn't big. It wasn't a humongous house. It just had 3 bedrooms, a bi-level home. And but it's a home, okay? It could be a cardboard, and it's your home. So I told her, I'm not gonna save the home. And she said to me, but that's not your home. That's your kid's home. I'm like, yeah, it's my kid's home. You're right. But I have to continue to pay for that home. And if this ever happens again, no matter how much I've paid, they're putting me out. I mean, I'm going to have a lock put in the next 30 days. So they gave me 2 weeks. I guess if I don't show up in 2 weeks, then they'll come and that'll be another 2 weeks. There'll be a lock on the door. So when I got out of the court, I got home, and he already knew what was going on. So I walked in the house and he didn't say one word to me. I didn't say one word either. Because like I said, we had no communication. And I said, you know what? This is more of a reason for me not to save the home. Though it's my kid's home. And man, that just hit me in the face. It slapped me in the face. It kicked me in the butt. It dragged me to the ground. I mean, it rolled me up and down. It's like it lifted me up and dropped me on my ass. And I went into the bedroom. I packed up 2 backpacks. One backpack was some of my kids' clothes out of a closet full of everything. I packed up some clothing in a backpack, and I had a humongous closet of hospital uniforms. Maybe if I had 2 or 3 pair of jeans or a dress, formal outfit and shoes, it was a lot. I lived working. Working was, I loved to work. I loved my job. I loved my veterans. I worked for a veteran nursing home. And I did that, and I stood by the door, and he was still sitting there on the couch like nothing's going on. Not even asking me what happened. What did you do? I'm sorry. This is one man who I don't even know what kind of heart he has. And this was back in 2002. We're in 2020. And this man has not have a heart yet to call. He has my number. To apologize. Even if we never communicate, at least apologize, because not because of me, because I'm still going to continue to work and survive. But you had 2 kids. You were blessed with a son and a daughter, okay? And this is the payment that I received. So I told him, you know what? I took my wedding rings off. I said, here, you can have these. I took the house key out of my keychain, and I threw it at him. I said, here, you can have the house. I'm not coming back to get anything out of here, okay? I'm not coming back to get anything out of this house. So you figure it out. It's 2 weeks to, they're going to put a lock in 2 weeks, I guess. You must know more than I. I'm done. And he just stood there like, oh well. The look on his face was like, oh well. Well, I guess he had plans. I don't know whatever the plans. I found out the plans 10 years later. Yeah, the last one to know stuff is the wife, right? So that's what happened. I moved along. I went to my girlfriend's house. I lived there for like 2 weeks till I found an apartment.